Ride through the city like Brennan Shaw. I'm on a mission to get it all. Ride through the city like Brennan Shaw. If you ain't thick, please don't get involved.
And now, Brandon Thick Boy Shaw.
What's up, fam? Welcome. It's Monday morning, January 16th on this crisp Los Angeles morning. How's everybody doing? You're on your way to work, dropping the kiddos off at school, dropping those gremlins off. Well, you're not, because it's a holiday. It's Martin Luther King Day, isn't it? So I think all schools have off. So parents, if you're listening to this here at home, the kids are kind of, being too loud. You can't probably hear me. So hopefully you can turn the volume up or whatever, because when kids have the day off, for parents, it's a nightmare. Entertain those little bastards 24/7. They don't stop, can't stop, won't stop. They're kids. Everyone's doing well, huh? That's cool, man. A lot of rain here in California, huh? We need it. That's what old people say, but we do need it. The ficuses are popping. The fish are good. I'm glad you guys asked. How's your fish? How's that new grouper? He's doing well? How's that Oscar? He's hanging in there? Good. I was worried about him. He had the white ick. Ooh, not good. Also known as the flu for fish. Don't worry, he won't die. Just get some chemicals in there. He'll be okay. I took the kiddos to my favorite thing to do right now is go to new fish stores, because you never know what they're going to have, dude. They have all sorts of different fish. So I decided to take the kiddos to this, I forget the name of it, Mark's Tropical Fish in North Hollywood. They had some different fish than my normal store. Aquarium City is my off Sherman Way is my local fish shop. They have some nice fish, but this place had some pretty dope fish. I have the biggest parrotfish you've ever seen. He's a problem. He is not keto. He's too friendly. His mouth is all messed up. If you don't know about this, parrotfish's mouths are different than other fish, and they can't bite. They can't just push each other. So you don't have to worry about him killing fish, but it's tough to feed him. And he's so fat. He's so fat, it's a problem. He's not keto. He's just not keto. So it's not good, man. It's not good. You don't know what to do with them. I'm constantly changing water. I smell like fish all the time. I just smell like fish. What can you do? Check out my coffee mug from Ciryl. That's how you know. That's how you know you got fish on fish on fish. Ciryl sent me a bunch of stuff to keep my fish alive. We're hanging in there. Hanging in there. A lot of water changes, Chin. A lot of water changes. But yeah, that's it, man. Spent Sunday with the kiddos at Disney. Boston has never been Disney. Tiger grew up at Disney. Bossy could give two flying fricks about Disneyland. All he wanted to do is play with Bubbles and hug all the characters. That's all he wanted to do. Did not care about rides or nothing, which I respect. Oh yeah, man. Rage Against the Machine, I feel like he's playing in his little head all the time. He's just, whatever everybody else likes, he does not like. He goes against the grain, which I appreciate. It'll pay off when he's older. It will pay off. But this isn't about my fish or about Disneyland. This is about UFC news and what's going on, and there's a lot of news going on. Before we jump into the whole Francis Ngannou drama with Dana White and the UFC, we had John Anik in on Food Truck Diary. That drops on Wednesday, says Casey. That drops on Wednesday. And John Anik is one of my favorite people to ever do it. He's such a good dude. He's such a damn good person. He's one of my favorite people involved in the sport. And he came with the fire kick. The Rodriguez's dunks. He came with some fire kicks. And he's one of the guys where it's not a heavy lift when John Anik comes in. You can just kind of wind him up and let him go. He's one of my favorite people in the sport. I've known the dude for a hot freaking second. He is such a good person, man. And we really get into it. This guy puts, I really hope no Dana talk. Yeah, right. Well, that's his boss, my man. And Dana's kind of in the news, so suck my big fishy dick. How about that?
That doesn't sound good at all.
Fishy?
Fishy dick.
Hey, man.
That sounds horrible.
Hey, dude, my hands smell like fish. Figure it out.
All right.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
I just smell like fish all the time now. It's all good, man. I'm married. I don't have to worry about these hoes out here worry about me smelling like fish. I just smell like a sailor 24/7. Dude, I've done 50 water changes. You think you want fish? You think you want these big 80-gallon, 60-gallon tanks? You think you want puffer fish because they look cute, and then you put in an Oscar in their tank because you think he's strong enough to handle their ferocious tendencies? Nah, bro, it'll hurt your feelings, and your son will cry. It's a nightmare dealing with puffer fish. Every other fish I love. Puffer, they're the Jeffrey Dahmers of the sea. They're so aggressive. Anyways, this isn't about fish. This is how much I love John Anik. Food Truck drops Wednesday. One of my favorite guests. So enjoy that. And do we mention Dana? We do. And I bring up the Dana drama. And, I don't do the whole gotcha stuff. So you'll see how it goes. But John Anik's one of my favorite fucking people on the planet. I absolutely love that dude. I actually wanted his brother to come with him, his twin brother. Mm-hmm. He's close with his brother like I am, so I wanted his brother to come here, but his brother was busy smoking weed, I think. So that's cool. He lives in Florida. He's a Florida guy. But yeah, we got some dope kicks. Shout out to Suplex, but that drops on Wednesday. I'm excited for this one. So let's get into it, man. I allude to this on the Food Truck Diet with John Anik. I said, I can't remember last time, to start a new year, there's been so many black eyes, no pun intended, to Dana's wife. There's been so many black eyes in mixed martial arts, especially when it comes to the UFC, than 2023. It's been a tough go, and we're not even in the end of January. It's been a tough go. So I said, what I think is going to happen is the UFC is going to release a bunch of big name fights to get the PR back on their side. You're going to see a bunch of fights rolling out from here till, I bet, the next 2 weeks. You're just getting big news to make us forget about all the negativity. And that's kind of what's going on right now. But the UFC did get another black eye. Again, no pun intended. You do get black eyes from slapping. But they did get another black eye because the news was out. We've all been waiting for a Francis John Jones fight. And then some poor fella at T-Mobile was like, John Jones, Ciryl Gane? I'll get it up. They're like, no, we didn't say that. He's like, you said that? Cool, I'll do it now. And then he doesn't have a job today because he leaked the news before the UFC. And if we learned anything from the Ariel Helwani situation, when you leak news, when they don't want you to leak the news, there's nothing the UFC hates most. They want to control the narrative at all times. And this poor worker at T-Mobile Arena didn't get the memo, and he blasted all over. And he got out. And when it came out, my team was like, hey, look, Francis, Ciryl Gane, but they say it's not real. This could be fake. Someone's just trolling the UFC. I went, hold on. If it's on the T-Mobile banner and it's out there, I will guarantee you this is the fight. Nobody makes that mistake. And there's no way they're signing Francis either. Fast forward about 8 hours later, boom, it becomes official. And then the news Francis decided not to sign with the UFC gets released. Here's what I know on Francis Ngannou. I'll be completely transparent. As soon as I heard the news, it bummed me out. I want Francis in the UFC for a variety of reasons. But B, I'm really close with Francis's agent, Markel. Now, when I say close, I've known for probably 8 years. 8 years. We'll text during big fights. We'll text with Francis news. I was not aware that he doesn't work with Francis anymore and hasn't for a few months. So when I heard the Francis news, I just texted him, what happened? And he goes, beats me. I don't work with him anymore. I'm like, excuse me? I said, well, who negotiated the deal? How did this not get done? He goes, Francis represented himself. I sent the emoji of a fangirl like this. Ugh. I like that Francis wants to bet on himself and that Francis has the faith in himself to get a deal done. I would consider myself kind of a smart dude, not the smartest in the room ever, any room I walk into, but I know a few things about a few things, when it comes to business. In regards to UFC fighters, I've done a pretty good job outside the UFC as far as creating a business goes, multiple businesses. I've been in those negotiating rooms. I have 2 college degrees. Francis's first language isn't even English, and he has no business degree. I'm telling you, they will eat you alive in there. I've been in that room. I thought I could handle it. Trust me, of course it didn't go well. Of course it didn't do well. They have all the chips. They know every single angle you're going to come from, and they're ready for it, dude. I wish I would have gotten his ear, like, whoa. even if you don't sign with a lawyer, hire the lawyer on an hourly basis, have them in there with you so you know the language of what they're telling you. It's not so much that, hey, we're going to pay you more than we paid Brock Lesnar, yes or no. It doesn't work like that. It's very clouded. It's confusing. They're telling you all these angles. They're bringing up this stuff, this thing. You're dealing with a lot. A fighter at this point should not be representing themselves. Everyone goes, well, Sugar Sean does or this guy does. I get it. It's a little different here when you're talking about championship level fighters, especially when talking about Francis Ngannou, who's currently was the heavyweight champion of the world. It's just not the smartest route to go. So I heard that. I thought, of course, the deal didn't get done. Let's take a little break from chatting your ear off about the fight game. Tampa, Florida, Tampa Bay, Florida this Friday, Saturday. Only Tampa, Europe. Get out your Tom Brady jerseys. Dust off those Mike Allstott jerseys. Go ahead and get out that throwback Steve Young rookie year Tampa Bay Buccaneer jersey and get your tan, sweaty, thick asses to the Tampa Improv this Friday and Saturday, January 20th, 21st. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday only. We're almost sold out, so Tampa, let's go, baby. Let's do it. This show is brought to you by DraftKings. UFC 283 is taking the MMA action to the next level this freaking Saturday. There are 2 titles on the line, and one bout is historic UFC match with Figueiredo facing Moreno for the 4th freaking time. Check out DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. You have Glover Teixeira, Jamal Hill, Figueiredo. You also got Moreno fighting for the 4th time. Jamal Hill, Glover Teixeira, flip a coin. Can Jamal Hill deal with the 5 rounds in Brazil? The grappling expertise of Glover Teixeira, is it going to be too much if he gets him down? If Glover gets on top of you, it's a nightmare. Can Glover avoid the big atomic power punching Jamal Hill for 25 minutes? I don't know. Vegas and DraftKings has a slight edge towards Hill. It's not a bad bet, but also there's a lot of factors there. He's in Brazil. It's 5 rounds. Glover can grapple his tail off. Glover's going to learn from his last fight with Yuri and probably tighten up a little bit, not be so sloppy. It's a fun fight, tough one to pick. Moreno is one of my favorite fighters, so I refuse to bet against him against Figueiredo, but Figueiredo in Brazil, nightmare. Download the app right now. Use code SHOW, SCHAUB, SHOW. New customers can bet $5 on UFC 283 and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's code SHOW this Saturday at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. Minimum age eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. This episode of the Shop Show is also brought to you by Onnit.com/shop, and you get 10% off every single thing on the Onnit website. But also, Onnit doesn't stop there. They got the new deal going on for you. Onnit's New Year All You deal. It's mid-January, so you better get on it. This deal's not going to last forever. Throughout January, get 20% off selected supplements and nutrition, 10% off select fitness, 50% off digital items, streaming fitness, all that stuff. You don't have to leave your home. You can get your thick ass in shape. That means also Alpha Brain. You get 10% off that. All right, we're talking about the best nootropic on the planet. I like the Alpha Brain Black Label because it's highly concentrated because I have issues. All right, for training you can do at home, join the new All Year, All You Onnit 6 Challenge, a 6-week workout lifestyle program with over $36K in prize money up for grabs. The challenge helps you connect with others in the Onnit community so you can support each other, achieve your goals. It's a fun thing to do. Get in shape with your friends. You can compete against each other, and you can also make money. We're talking about 36 grand. So again, this January, 20% off select supplements, 10% off select fitness, 50% off digital items, and you can get 10% off Alpha Brain and so much more stuff when you go to Onnit.com/shop. All right, that's all you got to do. Go to Onnit.com/shop and you save money off the best supplements on the planet. Now let's get back to the program. Now, I am excited for John Jones, Ciryl Gane. Super excited. The Francis Ngannou news doesn't overshadow that. I'm still excited for that fight. I'm excited for John to come back. How long have I been telling you guys, if you watch this show all the time, how many episodes have I told you guys? This isn't a John Jones problem. John Jones has been ready to go, wants to fight. They couldn't find him a fight. They were banking on Francis. That's how they thought the deal was going to get done. They were banking on Francis. It didn't get done. So you have Ciryl Gane there waiting in the shadows. It's a great fight, and we'll get into that fight after this. What's hilarious to me is John's a plus 100. I would put my entire life savings on John Jones beating Ciryl Gane. That's how confident I am in that fight. A plus 100, I know Vegas wants the lines to move. My God, I need to bet on it as soon as I get out of here to make a ton of money on that fight. If Francis, on one leg, can out-grapple Ciryl Gane over 5 rounds, what do you think John's going to do? Easy money. We'll get to that fight. So it says John's money line is sitting around plus 110. Successful $100 wager on light heavyweight GOAT would bring in $110. As for Gane, he's a shock at minus 130 favorite. Oh my God. Take my money, DraftKings, right now. I'm going to throw down the bet. I'll post it. Your boy's betting big on that. Before this airs and switches the line. The money on John's going to come pouring in. That line's going to change. By the time John fights, and was it March 4th? By the time John fights, and I don't care if I have a date that weekend, we're canceling it. We're doing a fight command for that. I don't give. Do I?
Yeah, right.
On March 4th?
Yeah.
On that Saturday?
Yep.
We have to do it. I can't miss John's first fight. I can't. God damn it. It's going to be a nightmare for me. Anyways, I can't. Back to Francis. Here's how I break this down. I love somebody who bets on themselves like Francis. That's what he's doing here. If I sit back and I take my admiration for Francis Ngannou out of the equation and I sit in Dana White's seat or the UFC's brass seat and I think to myself, why wouldn't this deal get done? The UFC is they were banking on John Jones beating Francis Ngannou. So let's say in this crazy world we live in, John were to beat Francis. What do you do with Francis? Let's say John holds on to that belt for 3 to 4 fights. Francis loses to John, beats one guy, gets another shot, loses to him. You're not going to pay that. You're not going to give that guy the world. You're just not. You're not. So the whole Dana thing and the UFC went, we're going to bet on John. John's a valued fighter on the roster, even though he's had his mistakes. He's the pound-for-pound greatest of all time under most people's perspective there. So we're going to bank on John to get it done. We think John beats Francis. We're not going to get the deal done because Francis would fight John and lose, and then he's just not as big of a name. Then he comes back. If John beats him again, then he's really devalued. We're going to bank on John. They signed an 8-fight deal with John. John's going to ride his career out with the UFC, never leave. He will be that guy who does some of the legend fights after his heavyweight reign, and then he retires as a UFC fighter. He's never going to go anywhere else. So the UFC is banking on John Jones. Francis is banking on himself. That's all this is. What worries me and what I think when I sit back and I think, and this is just speculation, but if I'm Francis and they go, we offered him Brock Lesnar money, which is a ton of money. Brock probably made between $15 and $20 million. So if that's true that they were offering Brock money, that's a ton of money. What incentive would you have to leave if you're Francis? If you're Francis, and again, he knows more than all of us, there has to be some sort of guarantee or verbal guarantee that he has that would make him more money than fighting John Jones and whoever else in the UFC. And that would be a boxing fight. So there has to be some guarantee from Wilder, Fury, some of these other big names. Anthony Joshua. Not so much there, but I think with Fury and Wilder, they could play ball there. Andy Ruiz might be able to play ball. There's some other guys that he could fight. I'm assuming this is, for Francis, this is more about just accumulating the most money possible, and the way to do that is a boxing match, and he's not too focused on mixed martial arts, and that's why he left the UFC. Because if you sit back and you're Francis' manager, which he doesn't have right now, but if you are his manager, and you go through the other potential organizations and who he could fight and make that type of money, I'll wait. Go ahead, but give me a name. Ryan Bader and Bellator, you think that's going to be a bigger payday, a bigger draw than John Jones? No, not a chance. As far as coverage, media stuff, that doesn't pay your bills, but it kind of does. It goes hand in hand. Name a heavyweight you'd fight in one championship. Name a guy in Ryzen, PFL. Name a heavyweight in PFL. Go ahead, fellas. I'll wait. So for Francis, he has to be able to bank on yourself and walk away from that type of money and that type of exposure in the UFC. There has to be some sort of negotiating going on in the boxing world that we don't know about. That's the only valid point I can think of why Francis would turn down this insane deal. To be the highest paid UFC heavyweight of all time, and we're offering Brock Lesnar money. Well, that was 12 years ago at least, 10 years ago. So it's like, okay. It's like, okay. Still, there has to be potential, fuck you money involved. I assume that's boxing. So for Francis, this is more than just mixed martial arts and his legacy in the UFC. There has to be some sort of guarantee in boxing. That's why he walked away. So it says Brock Lesnar made well over $5 million. Listen, I know how much Brock made when he fought Shane Carwin. I know how much Shane Carwin made. He made way more than that. So the bout earned him. So Lesnar's showdown against Mark Hunt at UFC 200 was the most lucrative payday of his UFC career. The bout earned him a whopping $2.5 million that they reported to the commission. He made way more than that. He got the highest percentage ever for a UFC fighter as far as pay-per-view shares goes. He made multi-million dollars every time he fought. That was his deal with the UFC. He made so much money. Even Shane got some payout from that. He made so much money. So again, it's a lucrative contract. Is it a Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua payday? No, but as far as UFC goes, it's a big deal. Now, is he worth more than that? Yeah, he should be getting more, but still, for the current times that we're in, it was a good deal for him. The only thing that allowed me to sleep last night was assuming that he has some sort of boxing deal coming down the pipeline. Otherwise, he made a terrible mistake. Now, we're going to learn pretty soon here, I'm sure we can get some news, what exactly Francis's options are. Because if there's no boxing big payday in the horizons, he made a horrible mistake banking on himself here. Because you're right off in the sunset, you might get paid a little more at first, but in the long run, you're not going to make as much as you would in the UFC. You're just not. You're just not, buddy. But the only thing I have to ride on is there's a big boxing payday in his future. That's it. It's the one thing we have to bank on. And the UFC is banking on John Jones beating Ciryl Gane. They're banking on beating Francis Ngannou, which I agree with them. If I was going to put money, let's say they were stocks, I would bet on John over Francis. What I don't like about this whole thing is Dana devaluing Francis. Why not just say we just can't come to terms? He wants to box. We want him MMA, but he really wants this box thing. We're not going to set that kind of standard for fighters to box and do this, so we decided to let him go. You don't have to say, Francis wanted to fight easier competition, and we offer him the most money possible, but he wanted to fight easier competition outside the UFC. That doesn't work for me. You're talking about a guy in Francis Ngannou who fought Ciryl Gane, possibly the most talented heavyweight on the planet, not named John Jones, the most athletic guy, Savage. He fought him on one leg and beat him. And you look at Francis' resume, who's he ever been scared of? That doesn't work for me. There was no need to devalue the Francis Ngannou in this press conference. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. But I would say this is a black eye for the UFC again. You let the number one heavyweight on the planet walk away. But I think the number one heavyweight on the planet, we're not hearing from him right now. His whole thing is getting this big fuck you money from boxing. He's also, I think, 35, 36, coming off a leg injury. Now, I was talking with somebody who's balls deep in the UFC, and I go, man, how could they let this happen? He goes, we don't know how bad his injury was as far as post-surgery. We don't know if it's still affecting him, if he's ever going to be the same. He's 36, so he's long in the tooth when it comes to fighting. Now, I did talk to people close with Francis. They go, no. He's been full sparring, training. He's beating the shit out of guys. He looks fantastic. His leg isn't an issue at all. Who knows? It's all speculation. Who knows? But there's a few factors. Is he the same guy? Does he have that big boxing fight in the pipeline? There's a lot of stuff to consider here. For the UFC, it's a black guy, but they're banking on John. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. Were you bummed out, Chin?
No.
You weren't bummed out? I'm just bummed out. I want Francis to have this big boxing fight and get the fuck you money and get $40 million right off in the sunset. That's the best case scenario. Worst case, that never happens. We haven't heard much about the Fury fight. Not much about the Wilder fight, right? So you haven't heard any of that talk lately. Outside those two gentlemen to get fuck you money, there's really nobody else. You look at the heavyweight division in boxing, there's not a lot out there for him. Is he going to beat those other guys? Probably not. Is he going to beat Fury or Wilder? Probably not. So you have one shot at this. Then after that, come back to MMA. I'm disappointed because I want to see Francis Ciryl Gane again when he's healthy. That's why I'm bummed out.
Yeah. I mean, we wanted the Francis Jones fight, but for as long as it lasted, I started just like giving up hope on it. So I'm like, yeah, it'd be cool to see him do stuff in like, potentially boxing or BKFC or something. Just some crazy show. It'd be kind of cool to see that.
Yeah, the UFC's always struggled to get deals done. When you think about Fedor, Randy Couture, you think about this, this is another hiccup there. I think I love when guys bank on themselves, which Francis is doing, but I just have to assume that the big boxing payday's in the horizon for him. Yeah. That's the only reason you turn this down.
And then I think Tony Bellew, the boxer, he's like, he shouldn't do boxing. He's not going to survive.
I don't think he survives and makes a career at it. I think he gets that one big payday.
Yeah.
And after that, then he comes back to MMA and does his thing there. I just wish him and the UFC could have agreed on he can do that boxing and come back to the UFC. Here's the other thing. This is what people are forgetting. France turned down this right now. Maybe he just, because the UFC's like, absolutely not, you can't box. You have to fight John first, then we'll see what happens. And France go, nope, they're telling me this deal's done. I'd make this much money. I'm doing this. The UFC goes, okay, dude, then we can't work with you. So Francis could go over, fight Fury, not sign with any MMA organization, and then come back to the UFC. There's that option too. Never say never. The UFC would take him right away.
And if he gets beaten by Fury, like even if he gets beaten bad, we already know his chances are so low. He still would be badass coming back to
That's what I'm saying.
UFC. Yeah.
I don't think it devalues him.
No.
I think UFC want him to fight John first and then maybe do boxing. Or I think UFC they don't want to set the standard that guys can bounce between boxing and fighting.
Of course they can't.
They're like, we let Conor do it, it's become a nightmare. Yeah. That guy owns the fucking company. His logo, proper whiskey's all over the place. We're not going to allow that to happen again.
Yeah.
That's what I think happened. I think the business deal, I think Francis made a few mistakes representing himself. I think Francis knows that boxing thing is in the horizons. Hopefully it works out for him. And I think UFC goes, we don't think you can beat John. You beat John, and the rest of that, or if you don't beat John, what do we do with you? We're not going and we're still offering all this money, but we're not going to let you box. Francis goes, no, I want to box. Now, there's a world where Francis, and I don't know how it worked, most companies don't allow this, whether it's PFL, One Championship, Bellator, Ryzen, where he does one-offs. So say he fights Fury, does bare knuckle, comes to PFL, goes to Bellator, like bounces around. Just big payday, fighting champs, collecting belts. Like Thanos. There's that.
Yeah.
I doubt that happens. The only thing that makes sense to me is he has a big box announcement coming up.
Yeah, makes sense.
But it's been quiet, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, I imagine it will be the Fury fight. I mean,
Fury has hands full with Homeboy.
Usyk?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's also like, it's not even a real boxing fight. Remember, they wanted to do MMA gloves.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's kind of like a hybrid.
That won't happen. It's going to be boxing. So I just think, at the end of the day, UFC's banking on John. Francis banking on himself. Has a big boxing thing in the horizon. That's it.
That's why it doesn't hurt as much, too. Just finding out that John Jones is actually, now he's got an opponent. He's in heavyweight. And all the different people he can fight in heavyweight. It's so exciting now.
UFC softened the blow.
Yeah.
They went, yep, we didn't sign Francis, but check out John over here. Well, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Against anyone in heavyweight. Anyone. It's so much fun.
Anyone. So it's interesting, man. But it is a black guy for the UFC to let the number one heavyweight in the world walk. Just let him walk,
Yeah.
But remember, he can come back. He can come back. Now, there was, I think it's Photoshop. There's a picture of Francis and his family in PFL shirts. I don't know. You know, I think Jake Paul's going to help Francis out if he does go over there. But
Is that it right there?
yeah,
Oh, it says, yeah, someone, a relative. I know PFL did want to go after him. I know BKFC, Bellator, PFL, they wanted to talk to
it's
him.
interesting too because PFL is under the ESPN umbrella.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We're going to get some more clarity, I assume, as the few days passes. Fighter posted a photo on social media showing him having dinner with a family, New Year dinner table. Among the guests, there was a woman wearing a PFL shirt.
Yeah, I didn't look into this, so I'm not sure how legit that is.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, him representing himself is scary. Scary. When English, your second language, is tough enough if you have your fucking black belt in English, which I do not. But it's tough enough, you know? I wish him the best. But I don't think it's the last we hear Francis in the UFC. I think he does his boxing thing, comes back. We'll see. Unless he gets some crazy lucrative deal in PFL. You know? Mm-hmm. But there's not much out there for him that gets you excited in mixed martial arts.
The Jones fight was probably the most exciting fight that could have happened.
And then if Jones absolutely mops the floor with Ciryl Gane, it's like it creates more demand for the Francis fight.
Yeah.
So I mean, maybe Francis bank on that. He goes, let him fight Ciryl. Let's see how that goes.
So if what you
I'll
say,
do boxing and come back.
If what you say comes true, then let's say Francis does the boxing stuff. Even if he gets knocked out in boxing, we all expect that he should get knocked out in boxing. Mm-hmm. But if he does well in like PFL, Bellator, whatever, and then comes back to the UFC and then fights John, that'll be freaking huge.
Because John only gets bigger. John mops the floor with Ciryl Gane. John's star gets bigger. Francis has all this hype around him. Let's say Francis does that boxing, goes decent. His star is bigger than ever, and then you sign the deal.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what Francis is doing.
Maybe yeah. Well, hey,
all speculation.
It's cool that he's betting on himself, man. That's pretty dope.
It is. You just have to hope that this boxing stuff comes to fruition. Because if the plan is just to negotiate and deal with other MMA companies, it's not the move. It's just not. The best competitions in the UFC, period. Especially at heavyweight. I know Curtis Blades, who we had on Food Truck, and that releases later this month, is going to be fresh. He's frustrated. I know he put out a thing, but he has to be frustrated, you know?
I remember reading it. It's just him saying, like, he understands who puts the most asses
he's
in
like,
the
asses
seats.
in the seats,
I
that's
get
all
it.
it is.
And he hopes to be that person after his next fight.
All right, let's read this Curtis Blades tweet. He put, obviously, I've seen the news. Gane is getting another title shot versus Jones. Most likely, I'll begin Pavlich, who just beat Tuivasa. That's cool with me. He says, I get why Gane got the shot, and it wasn't based off meritocracy. That's not a news flash. The UFC is always going to make the fight based off who puts the most asses in the stands and eyes on the fight. I hope I'll only need one more win to prove I can put asses in the stands and get a title shot. You know,
Yeah.
I love Curtis. And then Stipe said, March 4th, I like it. I got the winner in July. That big July summer card? Fuck yeah. John Stipe?
John, anyone in heavyweight. It's so
John
much
Stipe
fun.
is fun.
Yeah, for sure.
So there you have it.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Hopefully it works out best for everybody. How about Brett Okamoto kind of going at Dana a little bit?
Did he?
Yeah, during the press conference. He went at him. Dana was ready, though. Which I'm sure, you know, Dana was privy to what was going on before he sat down.
I know there was one reporter, I don't know his name, whatever, but that did, you know.
Kept digging?
Yeah, kept digging, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, thing on Dana where he's like, it hurts the UFC more than it hurts me if you punish me. And he's like, you know, what's the punishment? He's like, what do you want me to do? The punishment is I'm already labeled this guy for the rest of my life. Correct. The correct thing to say would have been, it's not up to me what the punishment is. You guys decide. I'm down for whatever. I'll accept whatever you guys give me. But instead he's like, you punishing me is actually hurting yourself. It's like, ugh, that's not narcissist to the fullest, my God.
He said the fighters, his company, yeah, they're the ones that will be punished if he's not there. But then, I mean, we all discussed this before. I'm sure the company is pretty established. They know what they're doing. They can do pretty well without Dana. At least if he was suspended for maybe like a month or two or something like that. You know,
they'd be fine.
They'd be fine, yeah.
Here's the question. Let's say Dana got fired, had to step down for whatever reason, for slapping his wife, beating her up. Who fills in for him?
Yeah, I don't know.
Mick Maynard.
I'm not sure I've ever heard
Sean
Nick.
Shelby.
I don't think I've ever heard them talk.
Hunter Campbell.
Yeah, I heard he's awesome. I heard Hunter's awesome behind the scenes, but I haven't heard them really speak and be like a front person.
No,
But then you mentioned DC. I think DC would be great too, but
You have DC, Brian Stan,
yeah.
Tim Kennedy. I don't know who'd want to do it, to be honest. John Anik's too friendly.
I think
Rogan
he'd be
doesn't
awesome,
have
yeah.
time for it.
Yeah.
Let's take a little break, kids. Break time. Hug time. This new year, you've got goals and factors here to help you achieve your goal. All right, listen. If you want to get in shape, you want to get shredded, everyone thinks just go to the gym, but keep eating like you do. Nope. Diet is 90% of people who are lean and are getting shredded. That's where Factor can help you out. Factor's ready-to-eat meals are delivered straight to your door. Get Factor, not only skip the trip to the grocery store, but skip the chopping, the prepping, the cleaning, forget all that stuff. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are ready in just 2 minutes. So all you have to do is heat up and enjoy. No matter what your lifestyle, whatever goals you have, whatever diet you have, Factor got you covered. They have keto, calorie smart, vegan, veggie, extra protein, protein plus, prepared by chefs, approved by dietitians. Each meal has all the ingredients you need to feel satisfied all day long. All right. Looking to cut back on takeout? Well, get Factor instead. Not only is Factor cheaper than takeout, but meals are ready quicker than restaurant delivery, 2 minutes. Can Uber or Postmates deliver in 2 minutes? Nope. Factor wins again. Get Factor. Enjoy clean eating without the hassle. Simply choose your meal. Enjoy fresh, flavor-packed meals delivered straight to your door, ready in 2 minutes. All right? Achieve and maintain your goals this year with Factor. Get America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. Start saving time, eating well, and living your best year ever. Head to Factor, FACTOR 75.com/SHOB60. Use the code COD. I wish they had God. I don't eat fish though. Use the code SHOB60 to get 60% off your first box. That's code SHOB60, SHAB60 at factor75.com/SHOB60 to get 60% off your first box. Enjoy. This episode of The Shop Show is also brought to you by the best freaking nitro for your brain. If you want to be smarter, you want to fire up those neurons in your brain, you want to get that brain working at the full capacity that's meant to be, you need your Limitless pill. You need Kratom. You need not just any Kratom you can trust from my friends at Happy Hippo. It's the only Kratom I trust. It's easy to digest. I take the little high concentrated cherry shots. It comes in this cute little pink bottle. 2 of those, your boy's off to the races. They have gummies, however you want to get your Kratom. They have powders. They're the best of the best. Kratom is the Wild West out there, but you need to trust my friends at Happy Hippo. I asked them to be on the show because I use the Kratom all the time, and I trust them, and you guys trust me, so here we are. Happy Hippo is the best Kratom on the planet. All you got to do is go to happyhippo.com. Promo code is THICC23. That's THICCC23. Thick with 3 C's, 23, and you save 20% off your entire order. You can share that code as many times as you want. Share it with your friends, whatever you want to do. 20% off for life. All you got to do is use THICC23. Thick with 3 C's. That's happyhippo.com. Promo code THICC23 for the best Kratom on the freaking planet. You're welcome. Now let's get back to the program. All right, Jim, what do you got?
Okay. So we did have the fights over the weekend where, as you know, Kelvin Gastelum had to bounce out of the fight. So
I actually like this fight better.
Yeah.
This fight I was more excited for. Good for Sean Strickland for getting a win. You know, he needed it. You lose 3 in a row, it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Said the UFC paid him a ton of money to take a short notice fight. I love that he got done with the win. He wins unanimous decision and then goes at the judges who just gave me a unanimous decision.
It was kind of funny.
Like, the only reason I'm here is because these shitty judges, like, but they just gave you a unanimous decision.
Yeah.
That makes sense. But I get it. He's upset.
For his past,
Yeah.
His
Danny Ye looked phenomenal. He needed that
Yep.
win. I loved his post-fight speech.
Yeah.
Raquel Penton, that was a close one. Umar Nurmagomedov looked phenomenal.
Yep,
My
won it.
God, that knockout was bad. It didn't look like he landed flush, but we've seen harder shots, especially for a guy who's never been knocked out. That left hook got it done. Umar's undefeated at bantamweight. That kid's a problem. Abdul Razak Al
He's so
Hassan.
funny after the fight too.
What'd you say?
The Abdul Razak. I'll play a little clip for me, but he's super funny after the fight.
This is my boy Cody Donovan
Oh,
in Denver. Yeah, he's a high altitude guy. Savage. Somebody's about to get knocked down in that fight. They were going at it, man. What's the clip? He's going at Joaquin Buckley, right?
Yeah.
Let me see it.
Pretty hard. Wait, real quick. So Sean Strickland, his post-fight speech too, he was talking about how even though he's getting paid a lot now, he's like, he referenced Stephan Bonner. He's kind of saying like everyone kind of like wrote him off. All the old school guys that pretty much built the UFC, they got paid shit compared to what they're getting paid now. And people write them off and they make fun of them now and all that stuff. And he goes, even me, I blocked Stephan Bonner, but I'm not a regular person. I'm like an animal, this and that, but he deserved better and all that stuff. He said a lot of cool stuff in the post-fight conference.
Yeah, I mean, Sean says some wild shit, which is why we love him, but sometimes that wild shit kind of pollutes the good stuff he says. Like his stance on Bonner when everyone's posting pictures, spot on.
Yeah.
The stuff about, these veterans when they're done, he's like, they have nothing, man.
Yep.
You guys don't understand they have nothing. You guys just forget about them. Let me see what Abdul says here.
I wonder if I have a better clip here though. So I'll play this for now. Hopefully it lands on the...
So that's why I was able to change it up a little bit.
I think it starts here.
What was the game plan?
Now, I heard this guy in training is a fucking savage.
He looks like a savage.
He's mad that Buckley shot? That's why he's so mad?
Yeah. They made an agreement beforehand. As soon as he felt his power, the shot. But I mean, I just think this guy's a character now. I never even know.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't know much
He's
about
fun.
this guy, but he's
Yeah.
super fun now. Yeah.
He's really upset someone shot on him.
You a bitch.
Mixed martial arts. You a bitch. I can't get jiggy to this. Jesus Christ, he's upset.
Yeah. Okay, so we found out more stuff about James Krause.
Jesus Christ.
And I try to look into this a lot. It's hard for me to understand what these things are, if it's illegal or not. But so James Krause was, as this article says on bjpen.com, reportedly worked as an agent for offshore sportsbook prior to his suspension. And then I saw this part of the article. It says, for the uninitiated, an agent in the world of betting is the term for a middleman between offshore sportsbooks and bettors. And according to sources closest to Krause, he would provide people with a line of credit and login credentials, and then they would place, their bets on the site as well as pay him directly. So I guess, and it says right here, it's worth noting that U.S. residents who have worked as agents for offshore sportsbooks have previously been charged with a litany of crimes. Those crimes are tax evasion, operating illegal sports betting organization, and money laundering.
Eesh.
So it looks like it's getting even deeper and deeper.
I told you guys from my sources who are close to the situation, he's gonna be spending some time behind some bars.
Yeah.
This runs deep, way deeper than we know.
And Jeff Molina, who we found out recently, I think he was released. I don't know if he's suspended, but I think he was released from the UFC.
Yeah, he was.
So there was a Discord message that was leaked, and I guess ESPN got a hold of it. So it says,
Says he trained with a lot of fighters, lives and breathes the sport as a coach and fighter at times, has the scoop on injuries, not announced matchups, how fighters look in camp. Molina wrote in the Discord, leaked to ESPN. In stocks, this is called insider trading. MMA betting, it's called James Krause. For the last 6 months, all my bills, including mortgage and car note, have been paid via Cruise Picks. Do yourself a favor and join the VIP.
which is there a thing that people could sign up for. And ever since then, everything's just gone. Yeah, so it's getting deeper and heavier. So apparently James Krause is probably going to go away for some time. Yeah.
Not good.
No. All right, so we already knew this was going to happen, but now it's official. Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman 3.
Well, we all thought it was going to be Leon Masvidal because Kamaru Usman's been taking pictures
The
of
hand
cast
thing,
on. Yeah. But thank God that's happening.
Yeah, so that's in March, UFC 286. And on that same card, apparently this is done. Rafael Fiziev and Justin Gaethje.
God, dog, coming in hot.
Yeah.
Told you he's going to start announcing some big boy fights.
Yep. And then also D-Rod against Gunnar Nelson.
Interesting. Nelson hasn't fought in a hot second.
Yep. And this is what the card looks like so far, all this year.
Take my money.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Take all my money.
So this I thought was kind of crazy. So Diego Sanchez is going to fight Austin Trout, who's a legit boxer.
As legit as they come.
Yeah, in BKFC on February 17th.
I don't like that.
I looked at Austin Trout's record. He's
Savage. Yeah.
35-5, won his last 5 fights. So, yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out for Diego.
Dude, he fought Jermell Charlo. Went to a fucking decision. What is...
I know, man.
But the only thing is, in this bare knuckle, like we've seen it with Perry and with Michael Venom Page, sometimes the technique and like the pretty stuff doesn't do well. It doesn't fare well in bare knuckle.
Yeah.
So if Diego like makes it a brawl, gets in his face like Mike Perry did against Michael Venom Page, sometimes you can edge out the decision.
Yeah. And
It's a nightmare for him, though. Diego's older, man. I don't like it. I don't like they still fighting.
yeah, of course not. Wasn't Paulie Malignaggi in BKFC? Am I tripping?
No, he was
And
against
then he
Arnold.
lost, right? Yeah.
Against Arnold.
Yeah, so yeah, it does make a difference when doing a bare knuckle. All right, so this is Bellator has doing another lightweight Grand Prix, I guess, tournament, and then Benson Henderson, your boy, will be fighting undefeated Usman Nurmagomedov.
God, these Nurmagomedovs are a nightmare.
Yeah,
These fucking guys, dude. If you have that last name, don't fight them. Go Ben Henderson though. But goddamn, dude, tough one.
yeah. There's a bunch of other good fights there, but that's like the one that caught my attention. So this isn't guaranteed, but Alistair Overeem apparently is in talks with One Championship because they're going to do a Muay Thai Grand Prix with $1 million grand prize. And then so Shatri Sityodong announced it, and then apparently Alistair hit him up asking like,
Ooh.
if he could be potentially a part of
Francis
it.
is going, excuse me?
Yeah.
I love that. Open weight Grand Prix.
Yep. Which would be great for Alistair.
Chachi said this thing's going to blow up. You're going to see big guys against small guys. It's going to be huge.
And he said there's going to be multiple ex-UFC fighters.
Love
That's it.
this.
All right. This is kind of crazy. This is LFA.
Oh, I saw
You saw this?
I saw a clip of it.
Okay.
You guys hold on to that choke?
Ninja choke, and then the referee just didn't stop it. And then people are kind of debating how long that choke was on before the guy was out. And apparently, I mean, if you look at the clip here,
Oh,
I don't
he's
know if I can
out.
show. Yeah, I'll just show you. Hold on.
And the referee should know. Clearly, the referee's not a grappler.
Mm-hmm.
Right here, this thing's over.
Yeah, to me, the guy looks just like he's
Right
done.
here, right there, you see his shoulder like season up.
Yep.
It's over. Stop it here. That's not a choke you can fight. Notice how he's not even hand fighting. His arms aren't moving.
It just seems like he's kind of like his body's just breathing or trying to breathe.
You see how he's like going like this. How do you not grab the arm if you're the ref
I
to
know,
make sure he's
I know.
alive?
And this goes on for a while.
Oh, dude, he's probably in that choke for how long? 3 minutes?
Not 3 minutes, but it's a long time.
Figure it out,
yeah.
dude.
And he's like stiff.
That's on the ref. Know what the
Yeah,
fuck
so-
you're looking at, dude?
So many people are, saying
It's
this
ridiculous.
guy should get fired,
Yes.
suspended, all that
Especially a
stuff.
choke like that, and he's not hand fighting. What do you think he's doing down there, moron?
Yeah. So I wanted to check up on it. I looked up his name to see how he's doing. I couldn't find anything, but then I looked at his Instagram. His most recent Instagram post was just him talking about being at the fight tomorrow. So I have no idea what's going on there. Yeah, his name's Scott Ritz. The guy that got choked out.
Well, sorry, the ref doesn't know what the hell he's doing, buddy. Sorry, Scotty.
Here's a quick one. Joe Rogan always talks about how Ensign Inoue showed the Pride contract about steroids.
Yeah.
Like they'll test for other stuff, but not steroids.
That's basically like, we're not testing for steroids.
Yeah, they'll test for like other kind of drugs, but not steroids. And then he just recently put out this video on Twitter.
Steroids-based family are specifically excluded from the scope of the test.
Yeah, so it's legit.
Exclusively excluded.
Yeah.
Meaning do them. Mm-hmm. Those were the good days.
Yeah, but we all knew they were like.
Yeah, I
come
loved
on,
it.
dude. That was
Nothing
awesome. This is a quick update on Dylan Dennis. Scott Coker says he still has a contract with Dylan Dennis still has a contract with Bellator, so they're going to honor it. And they're asking if he wanted to do the London fights that are coming up, and he said he wanted to do it, but Scott's like, and this is on Arrow's show. And Scott's like, but does he really want to keep fighting? Like, they have no idea, but they're still going to honor that contract.
Yeah, we had him scheduled to do Food Truck Diaries before he backed out the KSI fight. Then he wants to come on. It's tough from my angle too. It's like,
is he going to show up?
Yeah, it's like, it's a flight from New York to come here. We got to set up hotel, all this stuff. And it's like,
there's a lot of planning involved with.
It's like, do you do it? Or do you, is he going to show up? What are we going to talk about besides the KSI stuff? Which, I like the kid. I like Dan.
He seems like a nice kid.
A lot of people hate him,
or a nice guy, but I don't know.
Stud.
Yeah. All right. So, real quick, another quick one with Bellator. AJ McKee, who's their guy. I guess he signed a new multi-year deal with them, so he's not going to go out.
I know. I was really hoping he'd come to the UFC. He's the one prospect, or, not even a prospect champ, that I think could do well in the UFC from Bellator. I was really hoping he'd come to the UFC, but, good for him.
Yeah, seems like a Bellator guy.
He said, what did he say? Fame doesn't pay my mortgage, some shit like that.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
Stud.
And this one, I think we can, you be the judge though, Case. I think we can play the audio, but I'm not sure. So this is Nate Diaz, and I guess the freaking 49ers used him for this whole hype up thing for the 49ers.
If there's one thing that football players respect more than another football player, it's a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
Especially Nate Diaz.
This whole thing's based off of Nate, which is pretty crazy.
And the Niners, who I think is my dark horse to go to the Super Bowl. I think Bills win it, but I think it's Bills Niners. Sorry, everybody.
All right.
It's not him narrating over it, is it?
Yeah. Everybody's a gangster until a gangster walks in the room. It seems simple because it is. It's easy to talk the talk until you got to back it up. Every team wants to be a bully. They want to play smash mouth until they get smacked in their mouth. You guys already know what it is. Real G's come from California. You want to be the best in the game. You got to be the biggest, baddest mother every time you take the field. But you can't teach toughness. You can't fake guts. You're going to have to earn them. The whole world wrote us out. So we're cooked. Instead of tapping out, we swung back. Again and again.
Pretty ballin', too. Mr. Relevant ballin'.
It's us against the world. If you're not on our team, then us. This ain't about nobody else. This is about us.
It's got to be Super Bowl or bust.
Time for talk is over. Time to put up or shut up. Who wants it more? The quest for 6 starts now.
It's like all Nate.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I dig it. Not the most energy, but I dig it.
That's how he is. Though.
That's just how he is.
Yeah.
Niners destroyed him, too, boy.
Have you seen this clip of Ciryl Gane?
I haven't.
Impersonating Nate. This is
funny?
freaking amazing.
Hey, what's up, Nate? How you doing today? Fuck you, man. Really? Why? What's going on, Nate?
Considering it's Ciryl Gane, who's completely different than Nate. It's just
so
like
funny.
It actually looks like Nate. Yeah. And I just saw this recently from Burt Kreischer. I guess he was with Conor McGregor.
Oh, wow.
The Black Forge Inn in Ireland, yeah.
Took his shirt off, got the belt. I mean, Bert's just doing the damn thing.
Yeah.
He's having so much fun out there. I love Bert.
Yeah. Next time you go to Ireland, you should definitely go to the Black Forge Inn.
Yeah. We're trying to line up a Europe tour this year.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Israel Adesanya posted this on his social media. He got a tattoo. Finally got multiple face tattoos and a neck tattoo.
I thought he's had the neck.
Oh, no, a brand new neck one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
but he got multiple face ones? Why does he look like he's going to cry there?
But see, that's a brand new one on top of his eyebrow.
That can't feel good.
And then if you look at the video later.
I love me some face tattoos. I would never do it, but I love them.
Mm-hmm. So you'll see like a little flash of anime. Hold on, let's see if you can see it here. Right Right there. See,
Let's
flash
see.
anime.
Oh, word.
So apparently, there's an anime character in Naruto that has like a, some sort of writing on his, above his eyebrow. So
yeah, he's balls deep in that anime
Yeah.
stuff, huh?
Oh, this is super funny too. Someone just made this video. Adesanya and his dad trying to remove the tattoo from his face.
He's
It's just so random.
He's all.
But here are the tattoos. So
Oh, love the neck tat.
yeah, check
I'd
it out.
love a neck tattoo, man. So bad. I don't know what. Oh, you got a few eye tattoos. I love it. He looks sweet like that, champ. Oh, that's filthy. It's a dying pigeon.
It's a
Pigeon
bird,
like this.
but it looks sick, right?
Dude, I'm about to get a flowerhead fish on my fucking neck.
Dude, that with the big head,
That'd be sick.
and then
I dig it, man. He looks sweet.
so you can see he has a
that
tattoo
dead pigeon
here.
is sick.
There's a tattoo here too.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
No, he pulled off. Yeah, that's a dead pigeon, right?
I don't know what it is. It's just a bird. Does it look like a dead pigeon?
I
can't tell.
A dead pigeon.
Either way,
Sick though.
pretty cool.
Is that it, Chin?
That's it. Oh, we got the fights.
All right, man. Yeah, UFC's coming back, baby. Announcing a bunch of fights. You have a big UFC pay-per-view this weekend in Brazil. John
283.
Anik is supposed to wear the kicks I gave him. I don't want to spoil what kicks we gave him. He's supposed to wear it during the weigh-in, so we shall see if he does. We'll be blasting all over. Shout out to John Anik. I should have wore a shirt. One more sleep. Totally
know.
forgot. Damn it.
Thiccc.
It's at home.
Oh shit.
Fuck me. I'll wear on King this thing and Fire Kid Wednesday. I'll make up for it. But you have a big pay-per-view this freaking Saturday. I will be in Tampa, unfortunately, but this is since it's in Brazil, is it earlier fight?
No,
start
same time, 7 p.m.
Okay, well, that sucks for me, but good for you guys, unless you're coming to my show in Tampa, but then just spoil it for me when we do the meet and greets and let me know who won. But I'm in Tampa this Friday and Saturday, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, only Tampa, Florida, Tampa Improv, and then February 3rd through the 4th, Springfield, Missouri, Naples, Florida, February 16th through the 18th. Bakersfield is one night only, February 23rd. Get your tickets. Brea, I have to figure out now. All right. Oklahoma City's early March. But you have a big UFC this freaking Saturday. The first pay-per-view of the year. You have Glover Teixeira, Jamal Hill, who we had on Food Truck about 3 months ago. Jamal is a complete savage. This fight is in Brazil. What are the odds on this, Chin? What's the card's pretty stacked.
Right there. Jamal's a slight
Ooh,
favorite.
see, yeah, I'm with him on this. I think Jamal Hill should get this done and clip Glover. The problem is Glover's grappling, and also Glover's experience in the later rounds. So we'll see. Great fight though. Jamal Hill could do some real damage there. The fight that I can't wait for is Brandon Moreno, Figueiredo. Was this their 4th fight?
Yep.
Correct?
4th fight.
It's a -110. I can't agree more with the Vegas betting
Even,
lines
yeah.
on that. I'm taking Brandon Moreno, one of my favorite fighters. Nice guy on the roster. Gilbert Burns, Neil Magny, the Gazelle back in action. Tough fight for Neil Magny. Magny, unless he's fighting Ponzinibbio, really only loses the high-level jiu-jitsu guys. Don't get it twisted. If Gilbert Burns wants to, he can take you down and submit you. I'll take... I'm not going to pick against Neil. If I was a betting man, bet with my head, not my heart. Gilbert Burns via submission is not a bad bet. Tough fight for Neil Magny, especially in Brazil. Jessica Andrade, Lauren Murphy, phenomenal fight. Paul Craig, Johnny Walker. I love Paul Craig. Love Paul Craig. I think he's the last one to beat Shogun, or he definitely beat Shogun. Johnny Walker. I always root for Johnny Walker. I want to see him get back to what he's supposed to be. We could use him in light heavyweight. You have Shogun fighting. I think this is his last fight, right? Bunch of good fights on this card, man. Terrence McKinney is phenomenal. Who else you got on there? Solid fights, man. Cody Stamen doing the damn thing. Shogun. Bunch of Brazilians. But that main card's worth the money in itself. I will take that Glover Jamal Hill's such a tough fight to pick. So is it co-main. Figueiredo, Brandon Moreno. In Brazil. I'm gonna take Moreno. I'll take Moreno, Hill, Burns, Andrade, and Paul Craig. Doesn't mean that's who I'm rooting for, though. I'll say that. But enjoy the fights this Saturday. I'll be on stage in Tampa, but I'll be able to watch it after. If you're doing the meet and greet, go ahead and spoil the fight picks for me. You guys are going to do it anyways. All good, baby. That's how it goes. But Tampa, you're up. Kicking it off 2023 Thiccc Tour, Tampa, Florida, January 20th, 21st. Springfield, Missouri, February 3rd through the 4th. Naples, Florida, February 16th through the 18th. Bakerfield, one night only, February 23rd. Oklahoma City, one of my favorite clubs, Bricktown Comedy Club, March 9th through the 11th. Tacoma's on there, Atlanta, bunch of dates on there. All right, but Tampa, you're up right now, and then Springfield, Missouri. Come get some, baby. Tickets at thickboy.com or fatkz.com. I think that's it, kids. A lot of drama going on in the UFC. I think Francis, time will tell if he made the right decision. UFC's banking on John. Francis banking on himself. Can't be mad at that. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, John Anik Food Truck Diary drops Wednesday. It's a good one. You guys will enjoy it. So make sure you check that on Thick Boy YouTube only. And that's it, kids. Love you. Be safe. See you next time. I'm out.
If you're into Thick Boys, like, subscribe, comment, and God bless America. Well, that's not my big one. Just kidding.